So we're all good. So I'm gonna show it live on the YouTube channel here as well. Good morning, everybody. I'm just coming in here, guys. We're on the ES. I'm demonstrating our CoPilot Pro. I'm live in our trade room, and I decided to go ahead and log in live here on YouTube. We're getting high here on the move. Stop loss is automated with our ATM. Showing you possibilities here to use our system. We're on the ES, just using 3 contracts here. This is still the sim account right there. Doing some forward testing here. We are here on the lower B4 indicator. You can go to b4indicators.com. We just now redid our website. We're going to be redoing B4 signals here in a couple days, but we just now redid our b4indicators.com website. You can go there and download our free B4 indicator right here. It's available on NinjaTrader. It's available on TradingView. It's available on Thinkorswim. So, guys, if you want to just use our free indicator, you can very well do that. Get started with our free indicator. I'm showing you how to use it here. This is the lower B4 indicator for NinjaTrader. Whenever you lose your background, your trend colored background, and that trend line right there, the little dots on it right there, when that crosses over that top line, or especially the middle line of the bands right there, it's time to look for a move. You lose your trend background coloring, and you're in a position, you need to guard that position. We're using a 210 bar here. On the ES, it's one of our Unirenko style bars for TradingView, for NinjaTrader rather. We are fairly bullish this morning. Look at the Ichimoku, look at the cloud. This is going to be a contrarian our pullback style trade. Need to be careful with it. What I'm going to do is I like this number here. I don't want that going too far against me. We have our virgin point of control right here, and we have our level 2 profile right here on the sun. I'm going to pull that down. Your level 2. I got my level 2 back up and running. Yay! Now I just need to get my money straight with Ninja. Still haven't fighting that. I got my data straight with them. Now I got to get my account straight so I can get out of the sim mode. Quit forward testing here. I've done enough forward testing. We'll get it there. But I got my level 2 back. So Liz, if you're wondering what he's talking about, these little red and green lines that you see here, that is information from the exchange, from the brokerage, telling you where potential orders are waiting. So you can see all these guys right here. These are buyers for resting orders in the market. And there's a big lot of resting orders there.
Order filled.
So we are basically we're looking for the buying power here, for the bulls in the market is what we're looking for this morning. And so this is in the direction that we want to take. So what you can do, guys, you can always come in here and turn off the short signals. Boom, right there. You can also come in and say, okay, whenever you get to the end of a long signal, I'm in continuous mode. You could go into single mode, just take single trades if you want to. I got it in continuous. We also have options whenever signals close. What will it do whenever you get an opposite signal, or the opposite signal actions? We got it on reverse. We can do nothing, exit, go to break even if it will allow that. I have it on reverse. The signals we're using this morning are unfinished auction and delta divergence. Those are have proven to be two of my favorite signals, and I just got at least one of them to come through. And I could maybe, if I want to be stricter, only have it whenever both of them fire. You have those options here with your signals here from your order flow library. You also have some filters here we can apply. We were talking about level 1, level 2. Let me show you what that is, Liz. We have a new trader with us this morning, and a lot of this is going to be Greek to her. So I'll explain some of this. Down at the bottom, you have a footer. This very bottom row on that footer is your overall vol, number of contracts being traded right here at this particular bar. All right. The next one up is your level 2. This where you see the red right there. That is your market makers and major heavy hand players in the market. What are they doing? Are they buying or are they selling? The next level you have here is your level 1, and that's right here. And that's basically your retailer, your small time fries. That's us. That's us. What are we doing? Are we buying? Are we selling?
Order filled.
And then you'll have the top row, which is your divergences. And what Barb calls that, basically, he calls that edge, no edge. Barb is my partner, my friend, business partner. He was the one that helped me whenever I first started coding and put together the B4 indicator, the lower B4 indicator. And we started B4 together.
The histogram?
So the histogram, Liz, is going to be, see this, okay, you have a 0 line right here. Okay. You know how we're always going up to 3 and going down -3 on this B4 indicator? Well, at the 0 line is a histogram. Right there. And that's showing your momentum in the move. Basically, we talked the other day about you can use the histogram to understand, who's in, when there's momentum in the move. And the other thing that I mentioned is that we could say, okay, well, this is where the heavy hand players and the market makers got involved and they pushed the move. Then if you start seeing the dark colors come in, one way you could look at that is, okay, well, the big guys have pushed it. Now they're taking profits. And it may continue going up. If it does, that's going to be mainly the retailers pushing that, and the big guys are going to be taking profits at that point in time. You can kind of look at that in that regard with the histogram, but you can more so look at that in regard with the actual orders there with the footer here. And we'll go over that in more detail later. But for right now, you can look at the histogram and say, okay, guys, we're no longer making strong buys. I need to be trailing this position versus just now getting in, which regretfully I just got in. Should have been holding. Yeah, should have been holding all the way from here. But I got out and re-entered. I'm sorry.
you were.
Yeah, no, it's all good, Liz. That's all part of it here. It's all good. Now,
You know, sure.
absolutely. Anytime you have a question, don't hesitate to ask, Liz, because there may be another. People may know what I'm talking about, but there may be another angle that we expose, or so it's great to ask questions.
Stub filled.
So I got this zoomed in because I was showing you the histogram. Let me zoom back. Let me hit the full. Another thing, whenever you want to rescale your charts, Liz, you'll see, and I know you're not using NinjaTrader right now, but just for learning purposes, you want to hit those little F's for full, and it will take you back to a full resolution, true scaled chart. It's important to look at your charts in true scale. And while I'm doing that, I'm about to take it out of true scale. Because what I'm going to do is I want to go in here and I want to look at the detail here inside these candles. Where are we at? We're slowing down here, and I want to tighten up my stops. And to tighten up my stops, I need to have an idea of the inner working of what price did at each one of these levels. And this gives us like an x-ray view of that with our footprint. Look at what we're talking about. We've lost our trend background color. This is our trend background. It was green here. Now it's neutral. It means, hey, we're looking for bearish moves. We've already crossed over here. We were up high on our oversold. Now, we are mainly bulls, so I may not want to take a bearish trade. If I do take that bearish trade, I'm going to take it stepping lightly, very cautiously. I'll trail it aggressively. Whatever the technique is there to minimize the impact of that. That could be turning it off. I got short signals turned off right there. I could just turn short signals off. I could also go down to one contract, scale down. There's different ways of handling that, or just not take the trades at all. Turn off short signals. If I did that, what I would be looking for is this to reload with our lower B4 indicator, maybe get down towards the zero line. There's three places that we typically pay attention to the B4 indicator with these 210 bars. It may vary a little with different size bars, and it's going to vary. It works better on Unirenko like this. It's very systematic. Not as much
Order
on
filled.
the minute time frame candles, but very much locked in on these Unirenko stocks, especially our B4 bars. But when we get up to +3, we're looking for shorts. Now, how much are we looking for shorts? Well, we're looking for shorts till it comes down to maybe about the zero line here, or maybe even in the one zone, like a little zone right there, where it would come down and do a continuation. So we had a lot of buying in the market. I'm gonna go ahead and scale this back down. We had a lot of buying in the market, and somebody has to be on the other end of that transaction. Somebody needs to profit from it, and so these buyers are taking profits now. Where are they taking profits from? From this area right here. Basically, here and here. They're taking profits now. So we can expect that to come down, maybe come down to the 1. come down to the zero, kind of rebalances the sheets, and it could healthy for the move, and it can start going again. So if I'm going to be cautious here, I'm going to come in and look at that and say, okay, guys, if I'm going to lose some, I'm looking at my numbers. I know I'm not supposed to trade the P&L here, but I can't help myself sometimes. That'll probably be around $500, $600.
Stub filled.
$750. I'll let it go at that. I'll wait and see if my system's going to get me in again here. Just like I said, just depending on these unfinished auctions and delta divergences, I have found a very nice entry points. It works very well with my style. Usually I'm guarding a position and it gets me out at one of my key levels, and then one of those signals typically fires once we break past that level. So I do enjoy that. These two signals do work very well with my particular trading style. Now, this line right here, this is our B4 CVD. I'm going to go ahead and turn that on. And I'm going to unenable and re-enable the chart. What that's going to do is that's going to use that CVD line as a filter. With our new B4 CoPilot Pro V8, you can take our API snippet, put it into your own indicator, and let our system recognize. Now I'm having a little issue here. Let me see. NinjaTrader is very fickle. I'm going to remove it. Let's go back and add it new. Again, that's sometimes you have those issues. Template load. And a lot of times I have my open up a output. It doesn't give me, so I have an on-bar update method, and I usually send those to Barb if I have. Oh, I don't want to do that. Usually send those to Barb if I have an issue. I'm going to remove again. I'm going to try to add it. I'm going to refresh. Sometimes I just got to refresh data. I'll reload NinjaScript. Yeah. And then try it. Those usually will fix it. I got errors in the NinjaTrader data, but that's okay. Where are you at, Mousy? Okay, let's go here. Strategies add. I'm gonna just do the that's what I'm on. Remove that one. That's what I'm building. Let me do my template load. I'm just going to do the regular one. Load. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Sorry about that. Let's see. Are we loaded? Continuous. Long. Got I want my unfinished auction on there. Okay, there we are. Looking here, where did we come up to? This right here, this is a volatility adjusted virgin point of control. It's a unique signal line that we have with our footprint charts. I took a footprint chart and I put it on our 30-minute chart. I'm using it in essence as a volume profile. And I'm looking at these key levels on a 30-minute chart, volumetric profiling. And that's a key inflection point right there. We look here as well on our 3-minute chart. I'm sorry, on our B4 210 chart. It's also that same level is an exact point as well on the 3-minute chart. So that coincides on the 30-minute chart and the 3-minute chart. I really pay attention to those levels whenever when they match like that. That's really a strong confirmation that that level is significant. Now looking here on the B4, we're only at 2.65, meaning it can't push and break it. Not saying it's not going to break it, just saying that it's significant. We still have bullish CVD, and that's pushing upwards. We're getting a bullish divergence in here, right there. Let's see if that continues to hold. As far as Ichimoku goes, and what we do with our price, some of our price theory and some of our counting, we have basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So one thing, Liz is a new trader here with us, and so I'm addressing her as I'm instructing some of this stuff this morning. In a typical a hard push, a hard impulse leg, you'll sit counting these candles. You'll usually see about 9 candles in a move. Then you get to exhaustion. An average push is about 5 candles. And you start looking at that. Well, there's 1, there's 2, 3, 4, 5. There's where it started slowing down at. Hard push is usually 9. An extremely hard push is 13. And a typical pullback is around 3 candles. So Liz, if you want to write down some notes, write that a typical push is 5 candles, a hard push is 9 candles, and an average pullback or retracement, it depends on what you're looking at. The same thing, basically, just opposite directions, is 3 candles. Yes, 5 is a typical push. That's what you more than likely are going to see is a 5 candle progression. 3 is a pullback or retracement, and 9 is an average run. Is a hard run, is a hard push. 13 is extremely, and that's usually where you call it quits.
But that's really
That's for correct. That's when you're looking at time-based charts. I don't apply those principles here. That's why I don't use show you dots on my on these non-time principled candles or bars. Can't really call these candles, you call these bars. So Liz, whenever I'm using a differentiation, I'm calling these bars, I'm calling these candles.
Order
Each
filled.
candle is a bar, but each bar is not a candle. I know that makes it fun, but a lot of little things to learn. What we're talking about when we're talking about the same things, when I'm actually messing up. So, like I mentioned something a while ago, a pullback and a retracement. There's a difference between a pullback and a retracement. When we're going bullish and price comes back, it's called a pullback. Whenever it's going bearish and it comes back, it's called a retracement. And most commonly, everybody calls both of them pullbacks, and sometimes we have trading police that come in and say, hey, you're talking about the wrong thing. You're using that wrong. So, but anyway, like the term overbought and oversold list. Some people don't like using that term because you can't really say something's overbought. They could just keep buying and buying and buying. You can't really say something's oversold because they could just keep selling that thing and selling it and selling it. So those aren't really, definitive terms that you can, stand your ground on. But for the most part, everybody understands what you're talking about. Another pet peeve is using the terms like momentum. Momentum has to do with mechanical, physics. How does that relate to price? It doesn't. But we use the term momentum. All right, let's talk about something that means something here. Let's get down. Let's quit talking about semantics. Where are we? We're at 2.85 on our lower B4 indicator. And you're going to find, if you go through and look, historically, I told you there's three places I want you to learn on this B4 indicator list. -3. See -3 right here? Look at that little line right there. That's your trend line, the one with the dots on it. Consider that to be price. Price came down to where? Basically -3. -3. -3. Negative, within reason, that's all -3. You need to be at -2. You need to be guarding your position. You don't need to be entering a new, hey, let's get short. You need to be guarding that short. Same thing on the 2, on the +3. Let's look at the +3. Just kind of pull it across there. Yeah, there's positives there. Hey, that's pretty good. And then the zero line is for your pullbacks. Well, okay, so there's a move. It broke out. It pulled back. There was a move. It pulled back. There's a move. It pulled back and it broke. It bounced a little bit there. Then it went short. It broke below the midline, the zero line. So we're looking at zones on this lower B4 indicator, and it's free, guys. We just redid our b4indicators.com website. Go check out our website. Barb just redid that this weekend. He did it sitting there on his iPad. That dude, he's so talented. Anyway, yeah, go check it out. We're going to redo our B4 Signals website here in a couple days. So there's a few links there leading to stuff that draws blanks on the b4indicators.com. That's just because we're going to redirect those as soon as we update our new website in the next couple days. Bear with us on that. All right. So we're in a long position. I don't like this long position. I should have reduced my risk here instead of talking, and that's what I was initially going to do here. But it is what it is. You cannot talk and trade at the same time. It does require full 100%. We pulled back all the way down here to buy, close to our zero line. So what we could do, we could use our system. Let me look at some things first. Okay, there's our KISS dots. Our KISS dots is about timing in the market. And we were talking about counting candles a while ago. Remember I told you a typical pullback is around 3 candles? The expectation here is for price to touch the Tinkinson, which is the white line there, by 9 candles. And then we look for the same phenomenon to happen at around 26 for it to touch the Kijun. So I have a methodology that I use, that I teach in our B4 AMP class on how to use that, and some other key numbers. That's just part of it.
Order submitted.
Oh, did I actually submit that? Oh, yeah, I did. I didn't mean to do that. Get out of there.
Order canceled.
Let's go ahead and do that. But let's put that right there. Let's back at the home. Put that back above. We could place that above the value area there. If we get above that value area, especially
Order submitted.
there, I would say we're regaining ground. So you can use your footprint chart here. And if you know how to read footprint charts, you understand, and volume profiling as well, you realize that this little box that you have right there, that is your the majority, that's your value area. That's the majority of your orders. That's where the crux of the volume has transpired in this particular bar. Now, overall, we are bullish. Now, the T and the K are fairly separated wide. Now, I want you to notice that, Liz. See, this is the Kijunsen, this little line here. It's going flat. Whenever the Kijunsen flattens out, what does price do? Price stops out and returns back to the Kijunsen. And the Kijunsen is separated very far from the Tenkan-sen. Now, we have satisfied our move, meaning we expected the pullback to happen by about 9 candles after the TK cross and come back and touch the Tenkan-sen. Now, the Tenkan-sen is a dynamic support or resistance, depending on which way we're trading here. Right now, it's a dynamic support. Dynamic meaning it moves with price action. It's not static, it's dynamic. And one of the good things about these lines, these Hane lines, these are Ichimoku lines, they're called Hane lines, meaning half price, because of their formula, particular formula. They will point dynamically in the direction of volatility. Volatility slows down for the bigger turn. Well, the Kijunsen will flatten out. Well, what happened here? Volatility slowed down. Kijunsen flattened out. If that volatility decides to pick back up, if it decides to find support here at this Tenkan-sen and we bounce off of the Tenkan-sen and continue, have a trade continuation there, if that does in fact happen, then the Kijunsen will likely turn up. And Liz, what we do is we trade in the direction of the Kijunsen. Kijunsen's flat. I was in a bullish position. I need to be guarding that. Kijun turns up, passes. We have a methodology. Passes the previous highs or the kiss dots, what have you. Conservative re-entry. We can re-enter that trade. Ichimoku wise, as long as you do not close a candle here, does not close below this Tenkan-sen, you can stay with that trade. That's why we're right here. We're staying with the trade here because we're looking at it. Well, a CVD went down, which means we lost some of that. We're in a pullback position. See that CVD line right there? It pulled back. Price pulled back. Now, what's the expectation of that pullback? Well, 1, we got the Kijunsen. 2, we have the 0 line. Does it have to stop there? No. It could come on all the way back down and touch this Kijunsen, touch VWAP. It could very well do that. One thing we can look at is we have our bracket right there, which is one of our key levels. That's a support area right there. Overall, the market is bullish, aggressively bullish. You can see that by this 30-minute candle here and by our squeeze dot our squeeze box right there. We broke out of a bullish squeeze and was aggressive to the upside.
Order filled.
That's an unfinished auction. I have it set here to reverse. It didn't reverse because it came down. Did I have my stop loss? I don't recall where I had my stop loss there. But that would have, if I didn't have anything on the chart, that would have automatically got me into a bearish position. I don't necessarily want to take the bearish right now, even though we are going to probably and possibly pull back here to the Kijunsen or even possibly to the VWAP. I want to wait a little bit here. Just because we still have the bullish CVD still, and it may change, and because we have the support level here. I'm going to zoom in. Take a look at this overall volume. Level 2 is bears. Level 1 is bears. This is a good sell-off, but I'm close to my zero line, which means I just don't want to hop in that short, but I'm so close to the zero line. So close to support here. If I want to buy back in there, I could look at my levels and say, okay,
Order submitted. Order filled.
I don't want to be a buyer until we get over that part, because that's a major level right there. If we have buyers step in, I would like to get involved with them here. And there they are. Those are stacked imbalances there, meaning there's aggressive buyers in these levels. Are they going to be able to hold the position? We don't know. And they went away, but there was a lot of aggressive buying there. One way that we look at things also, Liz, is this major profile here. Of course, this is a footprint chart, but we're using it as a profile. If we have one thing I always start doing is I start by looking for a thin profile. That would be a thin profile. A long, thin, pretty bullish profile. What we look for in a thin profile is who's in control of the market. Well, the bulls are pushing the market. We are selling off right now. But in that process, we want to look at where are the spots where it's potential for a buyer to get re-engaged and protect his interest. Well, we look at these high volume nodes here. There's a high volume node there. There's a high volume node here. And so potential buyers can step in here. Potential buyers can step in there. Potential buyers, if we break all these barriers, could step in here, here, or here. And that was a previous volatility adjusted point of control that it broke through. Maybe that'll act as a support. Where is that at? Well, that's here at 69.9350. We come over here on this chart. 93.50 is right here. At the base of our CVD line, at the base of our bracket, and right below our Tinkinson here at this pivot high.
Order submitted.
And open up my show you. I don't have my show you indicator on this chart. I'm in the process of rebuilding it for NinjaTrader. So I don't have it. I don't like how the little show you dots are curving down right now. If you're looking at it washing, it doesn't give us as much potential for strength here. We need to get that Tinkinson, that price closing on this 3-minute candle above this Tinkinson for the bulls to be able to get back in action. Right now, the cloud's going sideways right here, and the T and the K are going sideways. One thing that happens, I want to point it out, Liz, is the longer this Kijinsen stays flat, the more price will draw down to it. The longer the Cinco span B right here stays flat, same thing. Price is likely to draw to it. You can think of them whenever they're flat, think of them as magnets. All right, come on now.
Order filled.
HBO Max.
Mhm. Now, one thing that I noticed, Liz, is whenever price stays at one of these candles for a long time like this, whenever it breaks out of this candle, it usually gets to moving really aggressively.
Stub filled. Stop filled.
So I didn't want to hold that position lower than that.
Order filled.
The Ichimoku right here. This is the Chikou, this magenta line right here. It's coming up on a momentum candle, which is this opening candle. That is a momentum candle. What I classify a momentum candle is I look at the average of the last 52 candles or whatever, and I say, well, how does that compare in size?
Stop filled. Order submitted. Order submitted.
And it compares in size. It's more than twice the size of the last 52 bars. So what typically happens is if when Chikou gets to that area, that momentum candle, typically it will respond in kind. Now sometimes it will, one way or another, it usually responds in a large manner. A lot of time it will be in kind. Meaning in the same direction as the candle is. So I'm looking for a big bullish thrust. If that happens, it may be because we come down and touch the Kijunsen, or we come down and touch the VWAP and then get that thrust. I'm not sure what's going to happen here to initiate that thrust, but I do expect a bullish thrust somewhere in there. Right now we're selling off. Mhm. One of my other indicators, I have a P pattern.
Order submitted. Order filled.
Now Chico's getting closer to this bigger candle here. We're getting to the point where we're expecting some big movement to come in one way or the other here. My automatic P pattern that I've built, it's loading the trade to the short side. I don't like that. My show you dots are showing possibility to the upside. They're not agreeing with each other. All right, my kiss dots are firing, which means it's time for the pullback and touching the Kijinsen. I expected it to be already moving by this time.
Order filled.
All right, we're going to go ahead and move these up. Lock in. I expected it to be a harder push and a little bit earlier. All right, that's the sound we want to hear.
Stop filled. Order submitted.
Hey guys, everything we are doing this morning is for educational purposes only. You'll have to trade at your own risks.
Is available on YouTube. Enjoy the latest.
Order filled.
We came up to the mean right there, and there was a lot of orders, sell orders right there at the mean.
Stop filled. Stop filled.
Flatten all here.
Order filled.
I'm going to go ahead and move my contracts up to 6 for this next order. just waiting right here for price to make a decision. Chico is right by the corner, right by the launch point, potential launch point. It could just keep on going sideways here. I don't know. I'm letting the order flow get me into an entry.
Order filled.
Again, it's just a friendly reminder, this is for educational purposes only. You'll have to trade at your own risks.
Stop filled. Order submitted. Order filled.
We're getting into a squeeze here. I'm going to lock that in at about $400 profit. I'm hoping it's going to push higher here on this little squeeze, makes it up to this target here. If not, I'll just lock it out here.
Stop filled.
512. Guys, I'm looking at the potential targets. We're high here on the lower B4 indicator. We're at 2.78. We still got some more room. We're in a squeeze right now. I'm thinking it could possibly push to our 7013.50 level. That kind of corresponds with our brackets. We also have our S1 level at 7015.5, and we have a volatility adjusted virgin point of control there as well. Ichimoku looks healthy. Thick Kumo after a P pattern or a pullback. We may have a little bit of a pullback here, and then I'm thinking a continuation to the end here, possible, making that a full N wave target there. It's at 28.75. Where is that here? More likely target to go short. So right now I'm looking at the cheek out. I'm looking at the cheek out trail possibilities. I'm going to pull up the path here. I'm thinking we're about, it's likely if we start pulling back here, don't see any activity, that we start drifting sideways a little bit here, in line with the price curve. It is 10:22 here, Monday, Central Standard Time. And I'm thinking we're at S2. I'm thinking this is what our price is likely to do right here. So guys, if that's the expectation that I'm thinking for the Chicow Trail, then that's the expectation that I'm looking at for price. So what I'm saying is, if that's what I'm looking at there, then that's what I'm thinking is going to happen here with price. For that reason, I'm ahead a little bit this morning. I would go ahead and stop. Thinking that the initial momentum is over. They could possibly, we're at the high of this move. It may have some more extension to it, but we're getting our third set of kiss dots. They're not showing up on the Ninja Trader version, but they are on the Trading View version. And at that point in time, that's a likely spot of trend reversal. So at this point in time, I want to see where the price goes. If it gets below Kijunsen, I could take that reversal and go down and take that trade to the downside, to the cloud, to the Cinco span A of the cloud. If not, if it bounces off of the Kijunsen or bounces off of the Tenkan-sen and starts moving aggressively to the upside, I could look for that extended move to the upside. But right now, my expectation is just a drift. I'm looking at the Shoyu lines, future Shoyu lines, sort of to the upside, but mainly just a drift. So I'm thinking we're going to get some sideways action. From everything that I'm looking at right now, my expectation is some sideways action. Doesn't mean that that's going to happen, but that's the best of my experience and knowledge. Until order flow shows me something different. So for that reason, I'm going to go ahead and cut it short. I got some things I'm going to go take care of. But that's going to be it for today. Guys, watching the YouTube here, be sure to check out our new B4 Indicators website. You can download the free Ninja Trader version, Trading View version, and the Thinkorswim version there of our B4 indicator, free. Go check it out, guys, and check out our B4Signals.com website if you're interested in becoming a member. Hey, thank you so much. We appreciate you. You'll have a great day.
Thanks, Joe.
Yep.